Hey guys, it's Pat Jenkins of On the Hill Media and voice of Fayetteville High Bulldogs Athletics. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's On the Hill Media. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications. As we say, let's get it.
Have you had that corn?
Hey guys, it's Pat Jenkins of On the Hill Media.
And welcome in live here at C-Max on 2190 MLK Boulevard. Once again, we are joined by the Coach Casey Dick. It's the Casey Dick Show. Welcome here, Coach.
I appreciate it, guys.
Week off, what was preparation like, being able to come out of a tough game, Broken Arrow, and have a week off? What's been the main message leading into this week?
I think anytime we have a bye week, it's the first thing I told our guys. It wasn't really a week off. It was a work week for us. There were some things we wanted to get ironed out. We actually kind of changed the way that we were going to practice for the rest of the year, just format-wise. So we were able to get, I believe, some things accomplished, some things ironed out to where to help us, as we progress throughout the year and put us in a better situation, obviously, once the year continues to unwind. But had a good, productive week, got some good film in, got some good lifts in as well, but was able to have a really solid week of practice also.
The one part of your game that I've been really impressed with 2 weeks into the season is the way you guys have been able to run the ball. I know you're in year 6. How impressed are you, Coach, that you're able to establish the running game? Because, in years past, it's been about the passing game to set up the running game. It seems like this vice versa this year.
No, I think that group has done a great job. Coach Wood has done a great job of getting those guys ready to go. Obviously, the first 2 weeks, and it's been a area that we've really liked the progress that we've made from, in the spring to where we are now. I think we have 2 really good running backs in Christian Battles and Caleb Johnson, but also, you throw Garrett in there a little bit with some of the things that he brings to the table and has allowed us to do. But just that whole group, and Drake and Matt and Julian and Cy and even Reese Kennedy and Rylan Lunningham, those guys that get in there, and Luis Perez, they've done a really good job. So, it's not something we're obviously disappointed about. We're happy it's evolved into what it is, and obviously looking for ways that we can continue to make it better and make it a vital process or vital set of what we do.
Yeah, and the key part of being able to run the ball, it all starts up front. That very young, new offensive line, you guys lost a lot of key pieces from that senior group off the state championship team, but I think you've replaced it with 2 or 3 new guys. Just talk about how the development of that line under Coach Wood is coming along.
Yeah, there's a year makes a big difference in kids, and obviously we, with Drake playing left tackle, we feel like we're pretty good there. He's an athletic guy that played a little bit last year, and Rylan Lunningham, who played last year, and then everybody else was kind of thrown in there at different parts of the year that played different positions, and Matt was a staple for us, and then Julian and Cy were the guys that kind of stepped up and have really, strung it together and done a nice job. Julian's playing center, never played center before, but done a good job so far of obviously, taking that for a week-by-week thing. It's difficult to play center if you've never had before, but he's done a really good job of improving and really understanding what we're asking him to do up there.
Health-wise, anyone out, or how are the Bulldogs health-wise heading into Friday night?
Everybody's good. I think, obviously, when you go into a bye week, you're looking just for ways that you can keep your guys fresh, keep them going, ways that we can help, obviously. So we were able to address some of those concerns. Obviously, 2 back-to-back road trips, going to Cabot, going to Broken Arrow. So those are 2 long road games that we felt like come back and be able to have a home game now, but obviously have that week off in between those will help us out.
When you look at the wide receiver core, Katavion Taylor has been really the consistent one, but what are some of the ways that you guys can get the state's top wide receiver, in Jason Delamore, kind of going, as it just seems like he had a great game, Cabot. I believe he was a little under the weather at Broken Arrow, but what are some of the things you guys can do to get one involved?
I think, if you look back at the last game that we played, he would be the first one to tell you that I don't think it was his best performance, and we're not worried about, Jason and the way that he, comes out and plays every Friday, because I think that stuff speaks for itself, and what he does and how he goes out to games and does exactly what we ask him to do, and has a great season. But, football is funny in that it kind of just, it kind of comes in waves sometimes. And sometimes it'll, like we talked about earlier in the year, sometimes it'll be Jason, and then sometimes this year, obviously, it may be Christian and Caleb, and sometimes it may be Katavion. And it's not a negative thing. I think if you watch any sport from basketball to football to baseball, it kind of, it comes in even waves. And but I really believe in the way that those guys prepare, the way they go out and practice, if they handle that business. And obviously, the game has a weird way of finding them. It's not really anything that you know or understand, but it's just kind of the way that it is. And after 20 years, you understand the way that people practice, how they prepare. Really, the game kind of just, molds around them a little bit.
Wanted to welcome everybody into the Casey Dick Show here on the Hill Media. As you can catch the show each and every Wednesday from 1 to 1:45. I want to flip over to the defensive side of the football. You guys, 7 minutes left in third quarter, down 16-0. And from that point, Coach, it just seemed like your seniors and the guy that made plays as juniors, they stepped up in that leadership role. Rhett Tidwell was one of the main guys. Talk about just that side of the ball and how they played. Because that's not something they've been used to.
Yeah. When you talk to Red, he'll be and again, he's kind of similar to Jason. He'll be the first one to tell you against Cabot he didn't like the way he played. Even told his parents that. So I mean, he comes back the next week. Obviously, I think he had 13 tackles as a player of the game for us, playing a little bit of a different offense that really liked to establish the run. So that was more of obviously our game plan. But I thought he prepared just like he does every week. He came in, fixed the issue. That it was, and I think he went out and played his best game. And we just needed a spark in that game, and they were able to give it to us. From an offensive standpoint, we obviously didn't put them in some great situations in the beginning of the game, but we're able to get some stuff figured out, make some adjustments, and then in the last quarter and a half, play football that we're proud of playing.
Transfers are something that's been in common now in high school football. You guys have inherited some really good ones in Battles, Horton, and Williams. I want to talk about Dax and him coming in at the linebacker spot. May have been a position of need. I mean, when you lose a guy like Parker Meese, talk about just the addition of Horton and how he's been able to step in.
I think the best way to just describe him is he's just a worker. He's a pretty quiet kid that comes in, handles his business every day. But that guy really, really, really prepares every single day and really prepares for every single Friday. And like I said earlier, the game has a weird way of finding you or him on defense or whoever it is, and he shows up and makes a ton of football plays. I think, last week Rhett had 13, or he had 13, and Rhett had 12. So they were our two players of the game. You look at Dax, obviously the first game had a great game against Cabot. But he's someone who understands preparation, I think. Obviously being at Bentonville is a great program. He's done a great job with his preparation every single week. And somebody that we got a chance to watch on film, obviously. But since he's been here, he's really kind of flourished in that level, and just bottom line, made a bunch of plays. Great kid to be around. He's funny, and loves coming to work every day.
When you look at film of this Texarkana takes the Tigers offensively, Coach, what jumps out heading into Friday night's matchup?
They're explosive. When you look at them, there's no way around it. The film doesn't lie. They do a great job of obviously getting the ball to their playmakers, and Tredarian Ball, who's a really talented player, committed to the University of Oregon. You watch the film on him, they line him up at receiver, they'll line him up at obviously running back and move him around a little bit to get him the ball. Quarterback does a great job. He's a veteran guy. Started as a junior. The running back's committed to Stephen F. Austin. And then I think the real difference for those guys, like any group, is they're pretty good at offensive line.
Right.
They got a very, very talented offensive tackle. That's a 6'6", who I believe will have a very bright future and probably be a high school All-American when it's all said and done. And the defensively, you flip it around and look at them, they fly to the football. They are very fast. They are very movement-oriented defense, and they hustle around and fly around. They're coached by Coach Stanford, does a great job.
Good point.
Somebody who I was familiar with when I was in Texas, and while he was at Fly Around Marcus, and he's been around the game a long time, coached a lot of great kids, and runs a tremendous program. So it'll be a great test for us, a great challenge for us as we go into Friday night.
Texas high school football, what makes it so much different than in maybe any other state?
It's one of those things. I'm going to say it's different, but you don't really understand unless you witness it. It's just kind of like their livelihood.
Right.
You go to a Texas High game or you go to a game in the Metroplex. Obviously, they're located in East Texas. It's just part of what they do on Friday nights for everybody involved. I mean, it's nothing for them to have 10 to 12,000 people at a football game. I think they're bringing 7 charter buses, the band, cheer,
wow.
Dance, and all of them. So. they all go. If it's a 4-hour bus ride, they're banding the cheer, and all of them show up, and all their community they'll travel. And so it's just part of kind of what's ingrained in them. And like I said, they do a great job. They run an unbelievable program. Been successful the last couple of years. And so, it kind of speaks a testament of what they've been able to accomplish as well.
Well, we're going to take a real quick break, but we'll be back with more of the KC Dix Show. We're going to be joined by senior linebacker Rhett Tidwell. You're watching the KC Dix Show on the Hill Media.
And voice of Fayetteville High Bulldogs athletics. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel that's on the Hill Media. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications. As we say, let's get it. Hey guys, this is Pat Jenkins of On the Hill Media and voice of Fayetteville High Bulldogs athletics. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel that's on the Hill Media. Make sure you hit the
And
bell
welcome back
for
here
all
live at CMAC Southern Kitchen at 2190 MLK Boulevard. It's the KC Dix Show, brought to you by CMAX and Lindsay and Associates. And I'm joined now here on the show by senior linebacker Rhett, my man, Tidwell. Welcome to the show, bud.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
Senior year, Rhett. Start off with some weather difficulties at Cabot, but you guys were able to secure that victory. I thought you played quite well, but how difficult or how can you guys build from being uncomfortable like you've never been, 16-0 in that second quarter? I mean, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it was, like you said, like it's never really happened to us. So it was a little stressful, but, I mean, we played good. I thought we did our part. We stopped them. I mean, we just kind of just bowed our neck, try to do what we could do to help the offense, put them in the best position, and they got it figured out. And then from there, it was pretty easy.
Coming off a state championship, how difficult is it, from the mental side to get up each and every game knowing that you guys are going to be pretty much every team's game of the year?
Yeah, I mean, we know every team's going to come after us. I mean, that's usually how it's been even before we won state, but now it's even bigger. And we played Broken Arrow, and then we got Texas this week, who think like they're coming in Arkansas State champs, and So, like, even them, we're getting their best game. So, I mean, it's going to be difficult. We just got to put in more work than we have the last few years. Just got to keep going.
Talk about Reed Slankard. A guy may not get the talk that he deserves, but a very important part in the guy I thought played a real big factor in that game Friday. Just talk about the senior.
Reed's really good. He's like my right-hand man. Like, he helps me out. Like, if I miss something, he'll help me. He'll correct me. If he misses something, I'll correct him, like, same way. And so he a real key part of our defense. And, like, not a lot of people talk about it. He doesn't get as much tackles as everyone else, but he's there. He does his part and just allows everyone else to succeed.
Dax, a new guy, come down from Bentonville's filled in, and I think fit quite well in that linebacker crew. How big was it to add number 22 to that already very good, and which I thought was the best in the state linebacker crew? Yeah,
I mean, Dax, I didn't know much about him from Bentonville. Obviously, don't watch a lot of other teams' defenses, but like, he came in, fit right in, plays hard. I mean, and he's a competitor just like the rest of us. So he goes, does his best, does his job, and really has helped us out. Has 2 big interceptions this year. So, I mean, big-time player.
What are the goals for this defense for the 2024 season? I know you guys have 7 games left, but what are the expectations for this version of Dog defense?
I mean, we want to be the best defense in the state, obviously, and just, do what we did last year, but do even better, and just kind of build off that. And I think all around our defense, from the front to the secondary, feel like we're in a good position to do that and be the best in the state. And so we just gotta keep working and keep practicing, keep in our film, and I think we'll be good.
How have you seen your game develop from your sophomore to heading down your senior year here at Fayetteville?
My sophomore year was it was a good year for me. Got to sit behind Brooks, learned a lot, and that definitely translated into my junior year. And then now just working off of both my sophomore and junior, just fixing what I did maybe wrong last year, fixing that this year, and just getting better at every part.
Now, you got a brother that's a sophomore. I mean, what's that like, those conversations at the house? And, I mean, how special is that to have a brother that's going through the same thing and you can kind of mentor?
Yeah, it's real special, and obviously plays the same position. So,
who's better?
Me, 100%. Nah, he'll like to say it's him. Before the season, he tried to say he was going to take my spot. But I mean, it's real special. Get to spend a lot of time together. I mean, last year obviously spent a lot of time at the field, and he was on 9th grade, so didn't have as much time together. Now got a lot of time, especially before I go off to college, so that's real special. But yeah, I just get to teach him, tell him what I think about what he's doing, just teach him what I know, and just hope it works the same as like how Brooks helped me.
Talking with Rhett Tidwell here on the KC Dick Show, live here at CMAC Southern Kitchen. When you watch film of this Texas High offense, Rhett, what are some of the things that stick out, and what are some of the keys that you guys are going to have to really hone in on to come out victorious?
I mean, they're a pretty fast team, but, I mean, that's one of our big things about our defense. Our defense is real fast, got some fast, quick players. O-line's pretty big, but, I mean, we've seen Cabot and Broken Arrow. They had pretty big O-line, so it's nothing we haven't seen yet. And but they're a pretty good offense. They have a lot of speed in the backfield, especially. Got some good receivers, but I think we're ready for it.
Now, this senior class, you guys now are 22-4, I believe. The last previous class finished 30-7. Went to 2 state championship games, won 2 conference titles. How much of a motivation is it for this class to continue to try to beat that record?
Oh yeah, it's real big motivation. I mean, obviously, don't see us losing 3 games, so don't see us losing any. But I mean, yeah, we know that was a good class, and last year, obviously, us put together, it was a great year, and we just want to build off that, do the same thing we did last year, but better, like I said earlier, and just keep building our own legacy.
Now you guys have Texas High coming in on Friday, the first home game of the season. You guys have been in school about a month. For one, I think that's just crazy.
Yeah.
But how excited will you be, and describe what that feeling is like on a Friday night at Harmon Field to the people that may decide to come out and watch you guys?
Yeah, Harmon Field at home, especially those big games, they're real fun. You got everybody's loud, and like our student section is great, big. They pack out the stands. It's going to be big for us. A lot of motivation and energy, which helps us a ton. And like they traveled well to Broken Arrow and really helped turn the game around. And so, and then you got parents in the stands screaming. Right. So
you may have one of the loudest voices, which leads into my next question.
Yeah,
Miss D and Mr. Brad, you know, how big is that to have parents so supportive? I mean, every time I look around, your mom's in that booster club, your dad. I mean, they're really involved. How special is that, Rhett?
Yeah, it's real special. Get to spend time with them, even because obviously we're at football, but a lot of the times they're there. Like Fridays, they're feeding us meals, and mom will show up every other day, stocking the fridge or something. But yeah, it's real special, and just they support us, support all of us, and just they're there for us if we need anything. So it's real special.
Last question. Describe in one word the Fayetteville defense to the people that'll come out and watch you guys Friday night.
Tough.
I like
Tough.
that. That's Rhett Tidwell. We'll be right back to close it out with head coach Casey Dick. It's the Casey Dick Show here on the Hill Media.
Hey guys, this is Pat Jenkins of On the Hill Media and voice of Fayetteville High Bulldogs Athletics. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel that's On the Hill Media. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications. As we say, let's get it. Hey guys, this is Pat Jenkins of On the Hill Media and voice of Fayetteville High Bulldogs Athletics. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel that's On the Hill Media. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications. As we say, let's get it. Hey guys, this is Pat Jenkins of On the Hill Media and voice of Fayetteville High Bulldogs Athletics. Make sure and
And welcome back here live on the KC Dick Show, here live at C-Mac Southern Kitchen. It's at 2190 MLK Boulevard. If you're not doing anything, want some good food, come on out here because they have a lot of it. Coach, you guys got a little tradition going.
What's that?
What, C-Mac feeds you on Thursdays?
Unbelievable. Haven't had anything bad here. Matter of fact, my wife loves it. The drive-thru has stayed hot for sure.
She was telling me a story several weeks ago. You guys came up on a Sunday, and the line was around the building.
Yeah.
And you stayed 30 minutes, Coach?
30 minutes in the drive-thru.
What's your favorite thing here?
I haven't had anything bad, Pat. Some corn nuggets.
Casey texted me, hey, Pat, hey, now we won. It's got to be a tradition, so we're going to stay with that, as we will be feeding those guys. Lastly, Coach, before we get out of here, first home game. You guys been in school a month. Mm-hmm. I mean, how crazy is that? And then on the second part, how excited are you to be able to lay in your bed and plan for a game at Harmon Field?
You know, I just think it's big for obviously our fans, our community, obviously our students. You know, and it's not every time that we get to open up Harmon Stadium and play a team like Texas High either. You know, really good. You know, it's kind of unique for us. We played a team in Arkansas, a team from Oklahoma, we got a team from Texas. It's something we kind of wanted to do when we first got here. So excited to play them. You know, like I said, and I think Harmon Field will be sold out, packed, rocking, and you know, I think it'll be a great atmosphere for high school football. And like you said, it's our first. We're on our third game now, but our first home game, so we're excited to get home and let these turn them loose a little bit and let them go, you know, experience what great high school football atmosphere will be like.
In one word, describe Harmon Field.
When you're there?
Yeah.
you always talk about keep it dangerous, so we got to keep it dangerous.
Hey, that's going to wrap it up here today. We'll be back next week as the Bulldogs will take on Bentonville West at Fayetteville High School. But if you're not doing anything this Friday night, make sure you tune in to our broadcast on the Hill Media as the Bulldogs take on the Texas High Tigers. kickoff at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss it. You might want to come out and see these dogs. They're going to win state. But we want to thank Coach Dick for coming out. Also, Senior Rhett Tidwell. Want to thank C-Max and Lindsay and Associates. That'll do it. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, D. It's On the Hill, and it's the KC Dick Show on the Hill Media. And you know what we say. Let's get it.
Hey, guys, this is Pat Jenkins of On the Hill Media and voice of Fayetteville High Bulldogs Athletics. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's On the Hill Media. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications. As we say, let's get it. Hey, guys, this is Pat Jenkins of On the Hill Media and voice of Fayetteville High Bulldogs Athletics. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's On the Hill Media. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications. As we say.